L'Oreal Lumi Glotion versus Say Glowy Super Gel. So here is the L'Oreal, and then here is the Say. The L'Oreal texture is a bit thicker, and it definitely gives more coverage, and it gives a really high shine to the skin. It blends out great with your fingertips or a brush. The Say texture is more of a light gel feeling. It still gives you coverage, but it's a bit more sheer. Sheers out even more if you use a brush, but that makes it really great for wearing under makeup. L'Oreal and Say. Revolution Skin Silk Sheer Foundation Stick versus a Charlotte Tilbury Skin Tint Stick. Here is the Revolution stick, and then the Charlotte Tilbury Skin Tint Stick. The Revolution blends like butter, and it's going to give you a true light coverage. It leaves the skin looking healthy, but with less of a highlighty look. Charlotte Tilbury also blends out like a dream, but it gives more of a sheer coverage, and it definitely gives you that healthy looking skin with a more high shine, almost highlighty look. Here is Revolution, and then here is Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Morphe Color Corrector versus the Huda Beauty Color Corrector. This is the Morphe Corrector, and then the Huda Color Corrector. Morphe formula is very hydrating and does a great job at lifting the under eye. I use way too much product, but you can see that this gives really nice coverage. The Huda Beauty also blends out very easy, but it has more of a natural finish rather than a radiant finish. This one has a little bit more coverage than the Morphe. Here is the Morphe side, and then here is Huda. This is the CoverGirl Baked Bronzer versus the Hourglass Baked Bronzer. CoverGirl. The CoverGirl gives a great amount of pigment upon first application, but you can really build it up, and it gives a beautiful glow to the skin without looking glittery. Then going in with Hourglass. This is going to be a little bit more sheer than the CoverGirl, but of course you can still build these up. They give a nice subtle glow to the skin, but it's a little more pulled back from the CoverGirl. Here is the CoverGirl Hourglass. CoverGirl Blush Stick versus the Rhode Pocket Blush. CoverGirl, and here is the Rhode. The CoverGirl blends nicely, but you do have to work a little bit more just because it does have more of a natural finish to it, which makes the longevity pretty nice even if you don't set it down. And these are very nice to build. Rhode blends out just a little bit easier because it is more of a hydrating formula. These do last nice on the skin, but I recommend setting them down with a powder if you have more oily skin. Here is the CoverGirl, and then the Rhode. Then we have the e.l.f. liquid eyeshadows versus the Makeup by Mario liquid eyeshadows. Going in with e.l.f. first. So this is super easy to blend. They take a little bit more time to dry down, which means you have more blending time. With that being said, you can get a touch more creasing with these if you have oily eyelids. Going in with a darker shade. These blend beautifully on top of each other, and I really like the undertones of these. Now going in with the Mario. This formula dries down very quickly, so I recommend blending it out right away. That being said, it really dries down and stays put. In with a little bit of the darker shade. These blend out nicely over top of each other. The only thing I will say is if you're a beginner, these might be a little harder to work with. So here's e.l.f. and then Makeup by Mario. So here's the side with all of the affordable products, and then here's the side with the high-end products.